Hello, I am here with your weekly tarot. I am going to get away from the daily tarot probably this week, next week, maybe the following week. We'll see how much off of my to-do list I can finally get crossed off. I'm starting to see progress. So now that the weather is getting nicer, my to-do list for outside has actually started. So I do have a lot of inside stuff and outside stuff and a lot of other stuff. So I'm going to do a weekly reading, and I'm going to make this a little bit of a longer reading because of that, because I do want to give you a little bit more of that information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cards over here so you can see them. This is the Lumen Oracle from the Threads of Fate edition of the Weaver Tarot. And what we'll do is we'll get some oracle cards to help figure out what is happening, and then we will use the Crow Tarot to clarify anything. So as usual, I've done an off-screen pre-shuffle, and now we ask for our messages for the week of May 17th. Oh, I gotta look at the calendar. To the 23rd. Good grief, we are almost through through May. Where's time going? I feel like we're in a massive time warp where time is just gone. In the blink of an eye, the day is over. In 2 blinks of the eye, the week is over, and you barely have a nap and the month is gone. So I don't know if anybody else is feeling this same energy that is happening lately. And this seems to have been from the beginning of April. I've been noticing that things are just on a roll. I'm going to take these guys. All right, 2 more, please. 2 more cards, please. We've got 5. We might as well do an oracle, 1 for every day of the week. All right, 1 more. Ooh, I like that. I like this card because it represents next Saturday. Okay, 1 more card, please. And what I'll do, there we go. I hope you saw that one go like careening through the screen here. All right. Lay the cards out here. Now in this particular deck, because it is an oracle, there is no reverse meaning. That's why I'm flipping them all around the right way. It's just so I can see them. So for Monday, the 17th, we have the Paradox card. And the Paradox talks about things being a little bit contradictory. I'm going to double check the book with that one, because the creators of this particular deck have really put a lot of themselves into it, and I love it for that exact reason. Now, Paradox, this is ether energy, so a little bit more of an alchemy type energy. So I'm going to hold up the card and I'll read it. The card is a reminder that we can hold on to 2 extremes at the same time. Sometimes we focus on things, whether internal or external, and see them as one-sided, but hold on to the paradox within us requires strength. To see our most brilliant qualities and our most ugly, and to acknowledge that they both live within us and are a gateway to growth. I'm going to quickly check something. Oh, they did not. Sometimes with the write-ups in this oracle deck, I'm knocking the tarot cards on the floor. I'll be right back. Sometimes they add crystals or herbs or some special added flair, but there was nothing bonus on that one. So what are the extremes that mean? What are the 2 extremes we are seeing or dealing with for Monday, May 17th? And again, I have done an off-screen pre-shuffle. Sorry, my French was just trying to make its way through that one now, and I did a shuffle. I don't know if that one did flip. Okay, the cards are trying to flip over, but not quite making it. Interesting. Okay, let's see what are the two paradox or two sides of the coin that we are looking at here from Monday. All right, ravens. The ravens in my neighborhood were sure squawking and creating a little bit of a fuss earlier, but I think that's because we had literally, it was the most pathetic shower that I have ever seen. There was enough dark clouds on the horizon coming in that looked like it could be a lot, and it turned out to literally be about 5 raindrops on the window. That was it. The ground wasn't wet at all, unless it was really localized and 3 blocks over got drenched, which is entirely possible. Okay. One more card, please. So you may want to skip ahead if you're not interested. There we go. In seeing what else is happening. So we do have the 7 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles. So the two things that we are looking at is maybe some sneaky behavior that has left us feeling a lot of lack. Now, is the lack from our own behavior, or is that behavior from somebody else? Is the lack a mindset, or is the lack due to the fact that somebody did steal something from you? So those are the two things to be looking at for Monday. Now on Tuesday, we've got the universe, and very similar meaning to this card as the world card in the tarot deck. So this is really kind of feeling like things are, the world is strung amongst our fingers and being, it almost looks like a yo-yo. That we're able to play and toy with the universe, or the universe is toying with us. Let's get some clarification for the universe, please. I almost should have grabbed a smaller deck simply because they are easier to shuffle. But usually the ravens like to talk. And we'll see what happens with the weather. Okay. So we have the 9 of Pentacles to go with the universe. Now these two together, I actually really like it. You're feeling strong, confident, even though Pentacles cards don't normally talk about confidence. The 9 of Pentacles is the independent, single, wealthy, feminine energy. So whether that is you or just an energy you might want to embrace and encompass, there is a bit of confidence in being that lone wolf. And I identify with the lone wolf. I wish I had this particular card's Pentacles, but the lone wolf, it's a great feeling when you've got your confidence and you're able to stand in your own power and be independent and not reliant or codependent. And I'm really awkward and when it comes to that type of thing. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand people who don't like having their independence and their freedom. I guess because of my former career, which was so handcuffing, literally. It really limited my independence, and independence to the point where I couldn't necessarily be my true self. Like, I could never have my nose rings in my former job. My tattoos, I had a few, but they had or should be covered when dealing with the public. Now, if I wasn't dealing with the public, that was fine. I could wear shorter sleeves, but if I was dealing with the public, yeah, no earrings, no bright lipstick, no earrings, And no, definitely no bright makeup or big, beautiful lashes. Now, they are not real lashes, but it was really discouraged. So I couldn't be myself in my old job. And if that's how you're feeling, then stand up and assert yourself and find a way to stand on your own 2 feet and be independent, because it is so liberating. On to Wednesday, we've got the Magi, which is very similar to the Magician. Now, this card does talk a little bit about alchemy. And again, I'm going to look it up just in case there is a couple of extra goodies to add. And this again is ether energy. And this is talking about a period where you need to look deeper. It asks you to examine what you think you know and keep going. The Magar is a seer of illusion and in turn able to cut through the fog and get to work. Ooh. Being able to see these realities, these different realities, is a gift. And being balanced can frustrate other people. And that comes from, that's going to carry over from the energies of Tuesday, being independent, not being necessarily reliant on others. Now, when the Magi is not balanced, there is manipulation that can be at play here. I'm going to read this one right straight from the book. In the expectation that it will ultimately be empowering. I'm not going to pull any extra tarot for that card. That says it all. When you're in balance, you're in balance, you're able to basically cut through the bullshit. And when you're out of balance, it's manipulation. You may be using manipulative type tactics. And I'm starting to see a little bit of a theme here, because we have the shadow card here. And we saw a little bit of the shadow type energy on Monday, where we had the paradox. We've got the two sides. We've got the one side that we think we know and that we think we are. And then we've got the opposite side, which is our shadow side. Yeah, right there. Again, I'm not overly sure I need to pull a whole lot of cards for this one, simply because the shadow side, it's going to be different for everybody. What I would consider some of my shadow side stuff is going to be very different from any other person. We may be able to relate on some of it. We may have anything in common when it comes to it. And what I may see as my shadow side, you may see that as a bonus, because it has helped you and it has been something maybe that is motivating for you. So let's see if there's anything that wants to come out for the shadow side. Now that is Thursday's energy. Okay, so on our shadow side, a couple of things that we do need to know is that even though we may not be feeling like we are up to the challenge to examine our shadow side, the Page of Swords does have the skills and the knowledge to get through whatever challenge you are facing. Now we do have the Six of Swords, and the Swords is air energy, talking about things that is going on in your mind. So if you're feeling challenged about working on your shadow side, know this can help bring a bit of peace of mind, moving from rough water into calmer water. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune at play. So with the Wheel of Fortune, it is in number 10. 10s are the end of the cycle, and we do have to get through that downturn. And going through that downturn, you may have been already exploring your shadow side and being through some of that a bad time, which in the spiritual world can be called the dark night of the soul. So you've been through this downturn, you've been through this shadow phase, but now there's an upturn, and that is when the Wheel of Fortune starts to turn in your favor. And it may present some different challenges that you weren't foreseeing or expecting, but know you have the skills to move forward through it. Now, the Six of Swords, also a movement card. There is movement forward and there is movement with the Wheel of Fortune being in the upright. Something that is going to help us, and we are going to see this coming in on Friday, which is wonderful. It's a great way to kick off a weekend, especially if you have the weekend off, and that is to transmute all of that negative energy. Don't forget the reading that I did for May 16th, that energy does also apply throughout the course of the week, and I do believe we had some moving and shaking type energy that is going through. I know we had a whole pile of major arcana. So anything negative, by Friday, we're going to be able to transmute it and let it go. Why? Because Saturday, you can go get wild. Don't get too wild. Don't get yourself arrested or anything like that. But Saturday, get wild. If it's good weather, go outside, get grounded, put your feet in the grass, put your feet in the water if you can. I wouldn't put your feet in the water if you live in the region I live in. Lake Superior is still bitterly cold, as is most of the rivers and waterways in the region. But yeah, put your feet in the water, put your feet in the grass, go get wild, go outside, have fun, howl at the moon. The moon is going to be in its waxing phase, which means it is getting bigger. Be mindful of the fact that we are in 2 pre-retrograde shadow phases. We have Saturn going retrograde on May 23rd. We also have Mercury going retrograde May 29th. So we are inside of that shadow period. You may want to let all of this out, particularly before Mercury goes retrograde, because this one is going to be a doozy, partly because it is in the sign of Gemini. So Mercury is going to be in Gemini. The sun is in Gemini starting on, yes, I'm looking at my calendar from Crossroom, Thursday, May 20th. And that's when we start seeing our luck change, or at least maybe me, I'm a Gemini. Woo. I sure could use my luck changing. And your luck changing could just be that you're transmuting and letting all of this go, and you feel like you're busting out of your skin and you want to go crazy and have fun and enjoy it. But by Sunday, we're going to want to get grounded and have that balance and stability with the pillar here. Now, the pillar is very similar to the Emperor energy. So we do want to get grounded. We can go out and have our fun Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, that's when you nurse yourself back into health and rehydrate. Bananas, toast, and Gatorade, and Advil. I maybe know this from experience, but those, if your stomach can tolerate it, that is definitely what you want to focus on in the morning after you've been wild and crazy all weekend. Let's see if the tarot has anything else to add for the week of May 17th to the 23rd. I warned you this was going to be a longer video, partly because we are covering several days. Okay, we have the 7 of Wands that has come out. Ooh, the High Priestess. You may be feeling defensive. So the High Priestess here, Major Arcana card, while it is very spiritual energy, there is a likelihood of a potential secret being exposed, and that it could be something from your shadow side. And you're feeling a little defensive with the 7 of Wands. Anything else? As much as I love these cards, they're actually huge. And the bigger the cards, the harder they are to shuffle. So let's see, we'll give them a couple more shuffles. right, one more, and we'll pull from the bottom of the deck a couple cards to do a quick rundown. Aha, I knew it. Star card. There's your balance again coming in that we saw with the pillar, but the star also talks about hopes, dreams, wishes coming true. So that's some of the magi, and when you transmute, it does help your manifestations to come through. Now here's a quick rundown of the cards on the bottom of the deck. We have the Six of Wands. Sixes, remember, are movements, and this is victory after a battle. It's time to celebrate with the Three of Cups. There is potential travel or moving, like physical, literal moving with the Chariot card. We've had to be strong. We've had to be basically grace under fire, but we've got an infinite supply of inner strength, and we're going to use it because there could be a conflict, possibly about your money or questions about your skills, and you're worried about it, but you got the strength within and you've got the knowledge, and you are able to make some cutthroat type decisions, and this is making decisions. Keep working on your skills. Don't box yourself in. The truth is coming in to help bring you more balance. There's the Tower. This is what is going to bring all of this in. You've got, oh, they did too. Remember how I said there was a card that flipped out? It's the Magician in the reverse. It popped out of the deck and flipped back in the reverse. So the Magician in the reverse is not taking any action on trying to make our hopes and dreams coming true. But the Tower moment, this is that secret being exposed that is going to rattle and shake us, and I believe we did see this on Sunday, and this is going to help bring us back into balance. This is going to maybe expose our shadow side. It could expose somebody else's shadow side to us as well, and it's going to be completing a cycle. Here's more balance coming in with Temperance. Now this is also a reminder to stay patient, and there's the Sun card because there's progress, and we knew it. So that is your weekly tarot for the week of May 17th to the 23rd, and I hope to see you next week.